NFL preseason action continues today with 7 games, including 4 in the late window. Plenty of Super Bowl hardware on the sidelines. Sean McVay's Rams taking on Andy Reid's Chiefs. That's at 4 Eastern. And speaking of Super Bowl hardware, it doesn't stop there. Super Bowl 59 champion Eagles, they face the Ravens at 7. Then the defending champion Seahawks host Dallas at 8. And with more on the preseason slate, we welcome in our senior NFL writer, Jeremy Fowler. Hey, I mentioned Rams facing the Chiefs. That's today. But what can you tell me about the Rams QB2 battle?
Yeah, Stetson Bennett, 4 years from his glory days at Georgia, has the inside track on the QB2 job finally in Los Angeles. He's been the developmental quarterback. Well, now Ty Simpson, the first-round pick, can be in that developmental number 3 role. Bennett's had a good camp, and this is a situation where he is a year from being a free agent in 2027. So he wants to put up some numbers. We know Matthew Stafford doesn't need to play in the preseason, so it's going to be a lot of Bennett. You will see glimpses of Ty Simpson as well. But Bennett should get, around a first half tonight to see what he can do in the Rams offense, which is always well loaded with weapons.
Oh, absolutely. Just weapons at your disposal. You get a weapon, you get a weapon. But I do want to move over to the Eagles, who take on the Ravens. They also have a QB2 battle going on right now. But what can you tell us about that?
Well, the Eagles will have a starter, a quarterback that won't be Jalen Hurts, who hasn't played in the preseason since 2022. So it will be Tanner McKee or Andy Dalton. The Eagles have not made that determination. They have kept that in the dark. They've really listed both quarterbacks as an and/or situation, a QB2 where they're battling it out in camp. Tanner McKee is a year from free agency and has had some trade value in the past. So if he has another good preseason like he has in the past, could generate some value where teams are trying to get a good backup where they make a call to Eagles GM Howie Roseman, who's always up for a deal. So both guys will play a lot, though, over the next 3 weeks.
And it's something that you just said. It's not just you're not auditioning for that QB2 role, but you're also auditioning for the rest of the league as well. But elsewhere in the NFC East, the Cowboys playing the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. Dallas rookie safety Caleb Downs expected to play. How have you heard on how he's performing?
Well, I spent some time at Dallas's training camp, and they rave about Caleb Downs. I asked head coach Brian Schottenheimer, where do you see Downs playing on the field? He said he can play everywhere. He can guard CeeDee Lamb in practice, up the seam, playing in the slot. So he'll play a lot of nickel back, inside as a safety, but they consider him already as a coach on the field. I was standing a few yards behind him on the sidelines. He was calling out every play that the offense was running already as a rookie. So he's ahead of his time. They feel like he's going to be the catalyst for that Cowboys defense. It's going to be defensive line and it's going to be safety. Those are going to be 2 strengths for this defense. It should be improved after some struggles last year.
Right, and that says a lot being a rookie, but even considering he didn't allow a touchdown in 823 coverage snaps as the primary defender at Ohio State, I've heard some rumblings that he has the potential to be the best defensive player for the Cowboys. We'll see how everything plays out. Jeremy, thank you.
All right, let's take it to 2 former Birds now looking for a dual debut in New York. We welcome in NFL reporter Judy Battista, now live at MetLife. Judy, Kyler Murray was named the starting QB this week and is expected to make his debut today. What do the Vikings coaches want to see from him against New York?
Well, whatever they're looking for, they're not going to see much of it. Kyler Murray is going to play, but I'm told it's not going to be for very long. A series, maybe 2. We'll see how long it goes. And then he's going to be out of here. He was named the starting quarterback, and that was certainly not a surprise after how J.J. McCarthy struggled as the starter last season. The decision to go with Murray basically came down to 2 things. First of all that he has already done. He's made almost 90 starts in the NFL compared to McCarthy's 10. I was told by somebody in the Vikings organization that was the biggest thing working against J.J., his lack of time on task. But there is also the promise of what this offense could look like with Kyler Murray. They have been incorporating shotgun and pistol. Those things would certainly maximize his mobility. When Kevin O'Connell announced the decision, he talked about his timing and his rhythm, and he also said his ability to affect the game with his athleticism. So big picture, that is what they are looking for Kyler Murray to bring. But again, today, he's not going to be out there for very long. He will play a series or 2. Then he will give way to the number 2, J.J. McCarthy. We could also see Max Brosmer and Carson Wentz. They are on the agenda as well. But mostly, this is about Kyler Murray's debut with the Vikings.
Absolutely. A lot of pressure for McCarthy as well, having to deal with all those injuries, like you said, Judy. But let's take it over to the Giants now. John Harbaugh is coaching his first game with the Giants. Strange to see him out of a Ravens uniform as well. What's his focus in this preseason opener?
Well, this might tell you a little bit about what the Harbaugh era is going to be like at the Giants. It's pretty buttoned up. He would not even tell us what starters are going to play or if they're going to play at all, and that includes his quarterback, Jackson Dart. So we don't officially know if Dart is going to be out there, although I think it would be a surprise to a lot of people if he doesn't get a little bit of playing time. Harbaugh ran a tough training camp, long practices. At one point, I think they practiced on 14 of 16 days. But he said for the game, he wants to see players play free. He wants them to have fun. He wants them to be able to shine. He is very mindful of the fact that the Giants open against the Cowboys and Rams, two very difficult conference opponents, and that he has a relatively inexperienced quarterback. Jackson Dart has still not played a full season. What they are looking for, especially on the offense, is execution. It has been up and down for this offense. That's not a surprise. They're putting in a new offense, and Dart is learning to play under center. So they will just want to see how the offense operates. And then finally, all eyes here will be on Odell Beckham Jr. He hasn't played in almost 2 full seasons. He will be on the field today.
A lot to look out for here in the Vikings against the Giants from MetLife at 1 p.m. on ESPN Unlimited. Judy, we appreciate your time.
That's why we show up each and every day.
This is the most important thing I have to do in my life.
Good news.
Is it preseason if we don't have a quarterback battle? And we've got one as the Browns are visiting the Bears, and that's where we can find our Courtney Cronin right there. Courtney, I do want to start off with the Browns. Deshaun Watson, he will get the start today, his first game action since rupturing his Achilles back in 2024. But from where you've been, where is he at currently, physically as well as mentally?
Kiana, the big question that Deshaun Watson has faced ever since he got to Cleveland is the fact that the version of himself from Houston has not been seen all that often. How does he get back to being that version of himself? He was very honest about it. He is 30 years old. He's dealt with multiple injuries over the course of his career. He's been limited to 19 games over 4 seasons due to both injuries and suspension. So that version, it may not exist, but Todd Monken does not want to hear it. He said that while he hasn't seen that version just yet of Deshaun Watson, he's not going to put limitations on a player. And he raised the question, why can't he play like that? So we'll see today if Deshaun Watson is able to look more closer to the version that he's shown of himself in glimpses in training camp practices. But mentally, the way he approaches the game, how he plays the game, has not changed. He still hears the voice of former Texans head coach Bill O'Brien in his head telling him to trust his instincts, to be able to go out there, play fast, play free. That's the mentality he's taken into this preseason opener.
Yeah, and he's going to want to trust those instincts because it's not just an audition to be the starter for the Browns, but it's his first game action in nearly 22 months. So he has a lot to prove here in the preseason. But I do want to move over to the Bears side of things because we will not see Caleb Williams today, but we will see the competition for who will protect his blind side. What can you tell us a little bit about that battle at left tackle?
Kiana, this has been the biggest position battle over the Bears' first 12 training camp practices. There are 3 players in the mix here: Braxton Jones, Karan Amagaji, and Jedrick Wills. Now, Jones has not practiced since August 6th. He's dealing with an injury, but